You ever hear someone say, I'm gonna buy a few rental properties and let the rent pay the mortgage? Yeah, until your tenant decides their rent money is better spent at Tulum. Being a landlord sounds like passive income, but the only thing passive is the way your tenant ignores your calls. Everyone wants to be a real estate mogul, till they realize eviction court moves slower than a sloth on NyQuil. Welcome back to the Financial Watchman, where we guard your dollars so you don't end up guarding someone else's broken dishwasher. So the dream is passive income, kinda. Let's start with the upside. When it works, it's beautiful. You buy a property, rent covers the mortgage, insurance, and taxes. Over time, someone else is literally paying off your house. That's the holy grail of real estate investing. If you have multiple units, say 10 or more, even better. One bad tenant, the others balance it out. That's when landlording becomes less like a headache and more like a cash flow machine. But when you only have one unit, a bad tenant can turn your passive income into a full-time stress machine internship. Now about the hidden costs, let's talk money. That rent check you're counting on, it's not all profit. You've got property taxes, insurance, repairs, vacancy costs, HOA fees, and that one tenant who keeps calling you because the fridge light went out. And if you think, oh, I'll just fix it myself, congratulations, you're now the plumber, electrician, and emotional support hotline. A smart landlord keeps at least 18 months of reserves. That's the tenant drought fund, because sometimes your rental income goes poof while your bills stay loyal like a dog. Let's talk about the eviction problem, aka the nightmare. Here's the part they don't tell you on TikTok. Evicting a tenant is not easy, especially in states like California, New York, or Illinois. You can't just say get out. Nah, it's a legal marathon. You'll file paperwork, wait for a hearing, and hope the judge isn't on vacation. Meanwhile, your tenant's still living rent-free, eating snacks you paid for through your property taxes. And during COVID, some landlords couldn't evict for months. Some tenants were basically on a government-sponsored Airbnb plan, except you were the one footing the bill. Before we go any further, if you've ever dealt with a bad tenant or dream of being a landlord one day, hit the like button and subscribe for more brutally honest personal finance truths. I post every day, helping you protect your money from bad investments, bad tenants, and bad decisions. Oh, and if you appreciate the hustle, you can always support the channel at buymeacoffee.com/The Financial Watchman. Now let's get back to this property roller coaster. Managing the business like a pro. Here's where you separate hobby landlords from real estate bosses. Screen your tenants like you're hiring a babysitter for your life savings. Run credit, background, and verify income. Don't just go with your gut isn't on the lease. Know your state laws. Some states are tenant friendly, others are landlord friendly. You need to know which one you're living in before you invest. Build relationships with good tenants. A respectful tenant who pays on time is worth their weight in gold. You might even drop the rent $50 to keep them. Because good tenants saves you thousands in headaches. Let's talk about scaling up smartly. The key to true cash flow stability is scale. One bad tenant in one unit, you're toast. One bad tenant in a 10-unit complex, you barely notice. That's why many investors use that first property as leverage to buy the second, third, and so on. Once you hit that sweet spot, the cash flow starts paying your bills, your debt shrinks, and your tenants are literally helping you build wealth. Just remember, the more units you own, the more systems you need. Hire property managers, automate maintenance requests, and treat it like a business, not a hobby. So what's the truth about passive income? Let's be real. Rental income isn't passive. It's front-loaded effort with back-end payoff. You grind now, vetting tenants, fixing stuff, dealing with the laws, so one day your properties work harder than you do. But it's not for everyone. If you hate confrontation, surprise expenses, or paperwork thicker than a Popeye's biscuit, this isn't your lane. Okay, so the Watchman's verdict. Being a landlord is like dating. Looks good from afar, but requires constant work, communication, and boundaries. If you plan wisely, have reserves, and treat it like a business, you can win big. If you don't, your investment property might just turn into a stress property. So before you buy that first rental, ask yourself, do you want cash flow or do you want chaos? This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm your financial watchman, helping you guard your money from bad decisions. Always do your own research before investing in real estate or becoming a landlord. I am your financial watchman, and I'm signing out. Bye-bye, y'all.